Hello, this is Mark. Video number 6. Okay. Even though I do these boards occasionally or frequently, I'm never happy with the results, and I always feel like I should scrap it all and start over. But I think it'll come out okay. So what I want to do, I'm still trying to shrink the board down. I'm trying to think about how everything's supposed to lay out. When I did the schematic, I was thinking I was going to label these pins nicely. So the SM1A, that's the stepper motor 1, power line A, and get those all through. The issue is that if I swap all these pins around, it makes it way easier for me, and I really don't care which one ends up on which line. I can map that all out when I'm done. I should have just left it with GPIO numbers on them, and so when I change them, I don't have to worry about it. So at the moment, I'm just going to ignore that those are what I originally intended them to be, and we're just going to change them so the layout is easy. Because the biggest time sink in this whole thing is always doing the layouts. So here's the layout we've got so far, and as I've moved the pins around in the last video, so now these come out nicely to this chip. That makes it easy for me. The other side's going to be a mess, and I'm going to deal with that later and probably move things around again. I may even give them labels so that on the schematic it's a lot easier. But I'm going to kind of do it backwards. Now, the edge of the board clear over here, all that's going to change. I'm going to be moving things around and stuff like that. So right now, my thought is let's get some traces on this thing and start actually trying to tighten it up as we go, as we put the traces on. And I mean, I kind of like the looks of this little piece down in here, so we could actually start with that. Now, you can look down here and it says unrouted at the bottom. It says unrouted 133. And a second here. Does this work? That basically tells me how many of these wires are there. Now, I can come way closer to the edge of the board than I'm letting on here. So let me just take this stuff here, and I'm going to move it a little bit closer to the edge because I can, and I want to leave just a little bit of room by the USB connector. Those have given me headaches in the past, and if I need to work on it, that's going to be a problem. All the rest of this looks actually not too shabby, so I'm just going to leave it where it's at. And I'm going to start with traces. And I already remember in the first layout video, I selected some preset sizes that I use a lot. 6 mils is the limit for what the manufacturer that I typically use can do. You can get smaller traces if you pay more, but it's just not, I'm not interested in that. So right now I can pick layers, and then this is our, to draw a trace. And just for examples, it shows me that this one has to go to here, but it also has to go to this one over here. So I can come in this way. And connects like that. Now, this trace, I should have done that another way. Okay, so this trace needs to come to, let me just erase that one here. So I want that one and that one. So, we'll probably be stuck with a little bit of a crossover there. Let's do that one. That one. There's that one. Now this one still needs to connect to there. We need to do, so I'm just, going through. If I want to put a via to go to the other side, I can just type the V key and that puts a via in. And it's going to restrict where you can put it. It'll let you put it on a pad. Don't put it on the pad. So we're just going to put it right here, and that should get me to the blue side then. So we can cross over that there. Okay, so those are 2 traces gone. So now I'm down to 129 traces. Now, heavy traces, or traces that carry a lot of power, I want bigger. But I'm going to route these couple of the signal stuff first, and at least get us started. This is also just a really lightweight trace. So is this one. Now this ground traces, they should be as heavy as we have room for. And, you know, this will be big enough, I think. And I know I do want to, oops, why am I still in that color? Let me take that off. Let me stay in red. Red is the top, the blue is going to be the solder side. And I'm going to connect these all together. Oh, it won't let me, huh? I know that this will look a little goofy, but we'll just, you know, it's okay. It's considered artwork. Okay. Here's our programming connector. So let's just give that one a ground also. So now my grounds are all connected. I've got the 5 volts coming in, so we got the, so that is connecting to here. Again, it's on the wrong side. That won't even let me get it in there because it's violating, it's too wide at 24 mils to get it out of there. So we'll actually have to come in here and create a new one. Let's go for 20. So now we can go, track is now set at 20. Let's see if that'll work. Trace, red side. Via, put the via in. Now I'm on the blue side. We're going to put another via. That'll get us back to red and run that trace. So as I said, we're just kind of working our way out of this area a little bit. Okay, so here's our regulator. Again, if we can put in heavier traces, we will. I think I can go back up to 24. So I can put this in. That's the capacitor. That's the 5 volts into our regulator. It needs to go to some other places also. And so we'll eventually have another via and get another trace out of here. The grounds end up going in a lot of places. I'm going to take and I'm going to take a bigger ground trace, and I'm just going to use the USB connector as kind of my reference, as this is really my grounds. We'll try to keep everything in that thing. So I'm going to take a trace that's 24, and I'm going to flip to the bottom side, and I'm going to come right up along the edge here, and I'm going to put a via here to do that one. And I'm going to continue on the blue side from here. You know, I can continue on red. Let's do that. To there. There's that. And then we need the 3.3 volt needs its. No reason to get closer than we have to. Okay. So there's my 3.3 that needs to go in a whole bunch of places. The 5 volt needs to go to the drivers for the motors and stuff. And we've got a few traces in. Now, as I do all of these traces in this area, Nothing needs to cross it after that. So I can think about it in those terms. Now I've got this ground to ground. What do we got here? Let me see if that'll clear up if I just do this. I see that one wire going across the... Oh, no, that's my +5. Okay. This one could stay, but I need a trace from here to there. So let me go to the blue side, and I'm going to go back to 20 mils because I know I'm going to get in trouble if I don't. And I'm going to go from here. This is also the 5 volt. Come over to here, put a via, and it's just going to go down to avoid those other ones. Okay. So that's all taken care of. We're down to 111. Okay, so that looks good. Now the crystal connects right up into here. My bigger question is getting all these traces out that have to come through this area. A couple of those are the other power stuff. Let me see what we can do here. How big a power line can we get off of these traces? I don't think we could even get a 20 on these. Let me trace on the red side, 3.3 volts. See, I can't even do a 20 mil trace there. We already have to drop down to, can I get a 12? No, that's still too big. Let me add another size. I kind of like having the powers and grounds being a little bit. Let's try for 8 mil. It doesn't cost us extra to have these different sizes. Okay, so trace. I can't even do 8. We're stuck at 6. Okay. So we know that we need 3 volts. This we did ground one pin on the processor. Which one is grounded? We got 57 is that center pad. Pin 19 is the one that really helps us get it out. So that is this one. So let me draw that one in. Now there are several 3.3 volt lines, and they're going to just have to be small. So we're going to take this 3.31. Anything else for 3.3? We got that one. And that kind of really fills up the inside of the... We got that one. Let me go ahead and add that one. I think that should do it. Let's save that. Now the moment I start taking traces out from the processor chip itself, then it gets really, really difficult to move. So I'm want to make sure that I can get everything where I need it to be. And let's just to give an idea of things. Oh no, those two I can put to the other side. These are for the laser pointer outputs, which have to go to those ICs over here. But I bet I'll do that on the bottom side of the board. So this could actually probably go a little closer to the crystal. And the crystal can come down a little bit. So let's start by moving this down. So I want to move this down into here. Now I've got my USB connections, and those are going to have to flip probably to the other side of the board. We shall see. Now I've got this ground already here that can come up and then go on into the micro. So let's see if we can connect those up. Where's my ground pin up here? That's my ground line right there. And that has to come down to the grounds of everything else. So let me run a pretty healthy ground. I mean, I can come out. Trace. I could come out with something, or do I just want to do it on the other side? Let me do something bigger. Let me go ahead and make it big, because it's really what I want. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here with this, and I'm just going to put a via in. And then I'm going to come down. I can go underneath these other traces. They're not going to be in the way. So I'm just going to come down like this and put a via here. Okay. We're way too small yet. Let me check my dimensions here. That's not what I want. If I come in here and hit the E key, it says it's 6 mil. I want 24. If I connect this one, hit the E key, that one should be 24 mils. And then there is one trace in here somewhere. There it is. Okay. So now I've got my ground connected up to my processor. Let's make this trace here too. Because we got the room, we'll use it. And there's a trace there. Okay. We could have actually moved that via over here, and I might change that in a bit, because these two don't matter. Those to the crystal. You know, I still may want to move that. Okay. Let's see, where are we at? I got so much room, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so I have nothing connected. Let me just swipe this thing and move it. And I'm going to bring it down. There. I think I can still get everything out of it. Okay. And I'm going to move that. So what I want to do is I want to trace. Why does that not give me 24 mils? 24 mils. And I want to go a trace. Let's start at the other end. Sometimes if it gives you headaches, I want it on the blue side from here. See, that's the 6 mil. Let me, oh, I think there's a small piece of blue. Okay. Let me just delete those all the way out. That, I want a red. I want 24 mil. I want a trace starting from here. Now we're correct. I want a there. Via, we'll just put it right there. And come all the way up. And I want to put it right there. It's complaining that the other one is kind of in the way. And then trace from 24 mil from there. Why? Oh, you say trace from there. It's saying that's too close. Let me fix this one then. Sometimes when you go for too much, it just can get in the way. Okay. Okay, so that one's now correct. We need to fix this one again. That's a 6 mil. And I'm going to delete this one too because I want to come over farther than that. Make a trace. Come from there to there. Okay. So now where are we at? Okay. Crystal. Let's get the crystals run. 6 mil, red, traces. I want this one to go to here. And I want this one goes to next to it. This cap comes out. Can I get through there? I can't get through there. It won't let you go where it doesn't, the design rules don't allow. There's that one. There's that one. Ground traces aren't connected there yet, but we've got a ground pin right there, and I can make those healthy. Let me make them 24, just so I can actually, more so I could actually see them than being important. Okay, down to 96. Okay, the USB connections have to go up still. 3.3 volt lines go everywhere. And those come down. Okay, let's see what that can do. Well, let me just save this for the moment. It's a puzzle. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and pause the video here because I don't like to get them over 20 some minutes, and we are there. So I'll see you back for video number 7 if you're still with me.